Deep in the thorn jungle, survivors find a hidden shelter tucked away in the ruins, while the injured veterans wonder how our boy managed to pull off such a miracle. And inside the palace, he stares down the blonde spirit being with cold, calculated intensity. She is clearly rattled, questioning how her savior could possibly be a mere human. But he ignores her confusion, demanding she explain the secrets of the sacred spirit vessel. Although she remains defiant, refusing to hand over the knowledge to someone so mysterious. So he offers a deal, share the secrets, and she earns the right to refuse him. Yet she scoffs, explaining that only a sacred spirit can actually harness that specific power. Then he channels his energy, forcing the vessel to react with a brilliant golden glow, leaving the spirit being absolutely stunned, questioning if he is truly human or something else. As the vessel produces sacred spirit water, proving he has mastered the ancient relic, he notes the process is painfully slow, then asks if she is the emperor's concubine, and she quickly denies the title, looking visibly shaken by the mention of that name. So he presses for the truth. Why would the emperor give her such a powerful item? And she finally confesses her tragic origin as his illegitimate, powerless daughter, abandoned by him. While the vessel remains her only inheritance, a lonely reminder of a father's cold neglect. Though he finds the story pathetic, he promises her power if she serves him well. Suddenly, he feels a strange vibration coming from inside his own jacket, interrupting their talk, and he reaches into his coat, sensing something alive and restless trying to break free. As he pulls out a small, shaking gourd, wondering what exactly is about to emerge. Hansen panics, wondering if his precious sacred spirit vessel just got eaten by that gourd. He prays to every deity he knows, begging the thing to produce something actually useful. Suddenly the gourd shatters into pieces, releasing a blinding flash of pure chaotic energy, and in his palm sits a tiny glowing baby, looking absolutely bewildered by its new surroundings. Before the little one magically grows larger, leaving Hansen completely stunned by the rapid transformation. Then the infant starts calling him daddy, while he mourns the loss of his hard-earned treasure. He demands his six-wheel relic back, but the baby just stares at him with innocent eyes. Despite his frustration, he softens up, refusing to bully a crying kid over some lost loot. Scanning the child, he finds zero aura, questioning how a simple seed became a human infant. He checks the baby's hands, wondering where the hell that mysterious gourd actually disappeared to. Realization hits him hard, his eyes widening as he notices something strange about the baby's tears. Turning away, he spots a tiny green sprout emerging from the floor, glowing with power. He realizes that sprout is a six-wheel treasure tree born from the baby's own sorrow. Water drips from the leaf, confirming this kid is basically a walking, crying gold mine. Watching the baby sob, he connects the dots. Her tears are literally creating sacred spirit resources. He comforts the crying child, promising that daddy is here to keep her safe now. Flicking a finger, he tests the sprout, watching it react to his touch with ease. Seeing the tree thrive, he realizes he hit the jackpot with this weird, crying kid. Naming her Bayar, he decides to spoil her rotten with new clothes and tasty food. Back at his home, he keeps her in a secure pod, ready to start parenting. Hansen stares at the baby, totally baffled by this impossible, chubby little miracle. Leaving Bayar and the treasure trees with Zero, he prepares for a hunting trip. Instructing his companion to water the trees daily, he heads out for more loot. Deep in the thorn shelter, he finds the botanical garden packed with high-grade plants. Sneaking through root tunnels, he avoids the main barriers with his guide in tow. Scouting the area, he plans to harvest life water to keep his trees thriving. Digging into the earth, he strikes gold, finding the source of the precious liquid. Standing over the hole, he eyes the potential harvest while his guide watches nervously. Realizing the plants are years from maturity, he shifts his focus to immediate gains. Channeling his energy, he starts draining the life water with a greedy, manic grin. Thousands of drops flow into his grasp, proving his methods are effective if ruthless. Watching him wreck the place, the spirit guide panics, fearing for the garden's future. Ignoring her protests, he demands to know what else is worth stealing around here. Pointing out a rare orchid, she explains it was planted by the demon emperor. Curious about its value, he eyes the glowing flower with a predatory, hungry look. Learning it boosts innate genes, he realizes this plant is a total game changer. Despite her warnings about the plant's fragility, he decides to rip it out anyway. Claiming it will survive because he says so, he starts looting the entire garden. Tearing through the area with raw power, he harvests everything of value in sight. Spotting a rare mushroom, he wonders if he just stumbled upon another legendary treasure. She explains that this rare plant could boost an imperial blood spirit to emperor level. But Hansen is already busy hacking away, clearly ignoring the value of nature. He gloats about harvesting thousands of drops of life water, feeling like a genius. While he wonders how the furious demon emperor will react to his trashed garden, suddenly the emperor appears in a rage, sensing the destruction of his precious botanical sanctuary. Crackling with purple lightning, he swears vengeance on the thief who ruined his life's work. Back at the shelter, Hansen checks in on his new, adorable and chaotic ward. Panic flashes across his face as he realizes something has gone horribly wrong inside. He finds Zero standing amidst the wreckage, while Bayar just hangs out looking innocent. Pointing at the baby, he realizes she is the culprit behind the sudden domestic disaster. She coos at him, and he decides to just ditch the mess for a shopping trip. They arrive at the bustling plaza, hoping to find some normalcy after the recent chaos. While wandering the shops, he runs into his second uncle, who recognizes him immediately. They exchange pleasantries, with Han Sen acting like he is just out for a stroll. His uncle offers him some of his father's old belongings, which he eagerly accepts. Back home, he digs through the box, hoping to find something worth his effort. Spotting an old watch-type smart brain, he realizes it is locked behind a vintage password. He sits down to hook the device up, hoping to finally crack the secret data. Sparks fly as the device suddenly explodes, filling the room with a thick, acrid smoke. Coughing through the haze, he realizes the old tech was rigged with a nasty trap. Han Sen gets his gear fixed, but the repair job is clearly hitting a limit. He puzzles over a cryptic message about repairing bloodline nerves to enter the sacred temple. Meanwhile, the Rift Sky Emperor is out there flexing his space-daring powers to anyone watching. That arrogant spirit thinks he is untouchable, planning to wipe out rivals with one flick. Back in the shelter, Han Sen hears a weird knocking sound coming from the statue. He demands to know what is going on, but the situation is already getting tense. Survivors arrive with bad news, reporting that a hunting party vanished in the thorn jungle. Old Huang explains the grim reality: only one guy made it out of that green nightmare. Han Sen is clearly annoyed, having warned everyone to stay away from the deep woods. He decides to investigate the site himself, dragging the survivors along to show the way. Entering the jungle, they recount how the vines just snatched their friends into the dark. This survivor points out the exact spot where the deadly thorns ambushed their entire group. They spot a white bear, but it is clearly just bait for something much worse. Suddenly, the bear erupts in green flames, revealing its true, terrifying nature to the group. Han Sen does not hesitate, immediately chasing after the creature as it bolts through the brush. Riding his mount, he warns the team to watch for those lethal hidden vine traps. Razor-sharp thorns whip through the air, trying to slice them into tiny, bite-sized pieces. He dodges the incoming barrage, weaving through the forest with some serious high-speed skill. Pulling out his weapon, he prepares to unleash a new technique against the encroaching vines. He shreds the thorns with fire-type energy, proving his new training was worth the effort. Han Sen lunges into the thicket, smashing through the dense, dark jungle foliage. Razor-sharp thorns whip out, but he weaves through the lethal trap with ease. He commands his companion to move ahead, dodging the incoming barrage of spikes. Sprinting through the undergrowth, he keeps his eyes locked on the fleeing target. Channeling his internal energy, he prepares a strike to pin down the elusive beast. Dark flames erupt from his blade, cutting through the shadows with terrifying, raw power. He stands ready, scanning the forest for any sign of the mysterious white bear. A system notification pops up, confirming he successfully hunted a mutant thorn bug. Spotting the bear, he taunts the creature, demanding to know who gave it permission. Swarms of insects descend, but Han Sen wonders if this bear is just a puppet. Observing the bear's weak fighting style, he suspects it relies entirely on bug control. Suddenly, a massive purple-shelled scorpion bursts from the ground, blocking his path forward. He notes the creature's god blood class shell, questioning the bear's true power and influence. This bear stands atop the giant scorpion, looking smug while controlling its every move. Han Sen grits his teeth, realizing he is dealing with a truly dangerous manipulator. Facing a god blood class threat, he knows a direct confrontation would be a total suicide. Switching to his golden form, he accelerates, bypassing the scorpion to strike the bear. Closing the distance in a blur of light, he catches the bear off guard. Grabbing the creature by the throat, he declares that he can definitely catch it. Slamming the bear into the dirt, he mocks its earlier arrogance with savage satisfaction. Han Sen challenges the bear, ready to test if its hide matches its attitude. He strikes, but the creature's blood starts acting like a beacon for every nearby bug. Swarms of insects descend on the forest, turning a simple hunt into a chaotic mess. Realizing the danger, Han Sen knows he cannot risk a full brawl near his home. He slashes through the foliage, desperate to keep the swarm away from his secret shelter. Suddenly, Bayar wanders out, demanding milk while the bear is still pinned down nearby. She marches right up to the beast, delivering a kick that sends it flying away. Pulling out her tiny gourd, she waves it around as if clearing the air itself. Green energy erupts from the artifact, vaporizing the insect swarm in a single, clean sweep. With the bugs gone, the toddler casually asks for her snack, leaving Han Sen stunned. Back at the palace, he watches Bayar play with the bear, wondering how she manages. He tries to learn the gourd's secrets, but the kid just stares back, totally clueless. Giving up for now, he pats her head and heads out for another solo hunt. Before leaving, he makes a quick stop to harvest some of Bayar's blood for bait. He drips the potent liquid onto a leaf, planning to lure in high-tier prey easily. Movement in the shadows catches his eye as a massive, armored ant crawls into view. Spotting the tank ant, he realizes the bait is working better than he ever hoped. He strikes with lethal precision, taking down the creature before it can even react. This system confirms a successful hunt, granting him a nice boost to his mutant genes. Snacking on his prize, he laughs at how easily the bait manipulates these dumb beasts. Deep in the brush, Han Sen spots two glowing red eyes watching him intently. He lunges at the creature, shocked by how close it managed to get undetected. A white rabbit sits there, munching on bugs like it owns the entire forest. Han Sen strikes again, but the rabbit dodges with some seriously weird, unnatural speed. He calls out the bunny for being a meat-eater that steals his hard-earned skewers. Scanning the beast, he realizes it has 7 gene locks, a total god-blood anomaly. This rabbit hops away, and Han Sen decides to follow it back home. Arriving at a valley, he finds a massive herd of these strange white rabbits. He notes their life force is pathetic, wondering how a king could be here. Spotting a wasp nest nearby, he hatches a plan to lure the target out. He takes down a few wasps, snagging their bodies for his own twisted experiment. Sitting by the fire, he crafts a trap using the wasp venom and spice. This rabbit returns, sniffing around the area while Han Sen watches from the shadows. He tosses the seasoned bait, hoping to finally get a reaction from the beast. This rabbit eats it and immediately starts foaming, clearly regretting its life choices. Han Sen stands over the unconscious bunny, baffled by how easily it passed out. Checking its fur, he finds the creature's physical toughness is surprisingly, laughably weak. He channels energy to scan it, still confused by its bizarre godblood status. Deciding to keep tracking it, he follows the rabbit as it hops away again. This bunny dives into an underground river, leading Han Sen into a hidden burrow. Han Sen tracks the Rabbit King, noting it picks specific paths through the dark cave. As they reach a massive waterfall, the rabbit dives straight into the rushing water below. Suddenly, a giant chain creature snaps at the bunny, but it narrowly escapes the jaws. Quick as a flash, the rabbit leaps onto a rock, avoiding the monster's hungry strike. Han Sen watches the chaos, relieved his furry little guide has not become a snack yet. Looking up, he spots a massive dragon chained in the pool, radiating terrifying god-class energy. This Rabbit King remains unfazed, hopping right past the beast while Han Sen stays alert. Urging himself to keep moving, he follows the rabbit through the complex, winding water currents. Finally, they reach a hidden chamber and Han Sen wonders if the journey is over. Staring in awe, he finds something unexpected waiting for him in the deep, dark cave. A glowing tree stands before him, laden with mysterious fruit that lights up the room. Realizing this is the rabbit's secret stash, he watches the creature munch on the fruit. This bunny suddenly collapses, rolling on the ground as if hit by a massive shock. Han Sen observes the rabbit's life force surging, despite the obvious pain it endures. Deciding the risk is worth the reward, he grabs one of the glowing red fruits. Taking a bite, he prepares for whatever side effects this strange snack might unleash. Agony hits him instantly, his body racked with pain as the energy floods his system. A system notification chimes in, confirming his origin genes are finally starting to climb. Ignoring the torture, Han Sen eyes the tree greedily, planning to harvest every single fruit. After an hour of suffering, he hits the gene cap, unlocking a brand new power. Han Sen awkwardly apologizes to the rabbit for raiding its entire stash of fruit, but he quickly pivots to business, spotting a mysterious stone door in the cave. And he pushes inside, scanning the room for any other hidden treasures worth grabbing. Finding a massive glowing cauldron that looks like it might hold something truly special. He sprouts his wings to investigate, hovering over the container with intense, greedy curiosity. Peering into the red liquid, he is shocked to find a body floating there, and he notes the corpse has zero life force, making the whole situation weird. He checks his own chest, feeling a strange vibe from this unsettling, buried discovery. Walking into the next chamber, he spots a small box sitting on a table. Realizing it has been opened before, he wonders if the loot is still inside. He opens the lid only to find a complex 100-tier Rubik's Cube waiting there. Marveling at the insane craftsmanship, he realizes no human could ever solve this puzzle. He decides to pack it up, hoping his smart brain can crack the code later. Suddenly, a green, scaly figure emerges from the shadows, catching him completely off guard. This creature stands tall, radiating a menacing aura that makes the air feel heavy. Han Sen draws his blade, demanding to know if this thing is human-like. This ghost yaksha lunges forward with terrifying speed, forcing him into an immediate defense. He parries the strike, his eyes widening at the sheer power behind the attack. Coughing from the impact, he barely manages to hold his ground against the assault. He summons his Dragonblood snake to intercept, desperate to stop the monster in time. Han Sen's Dragonblood snake clashes with the ghost yaksha, sparks flying in the dark. That monster is smart, ditching the snake to target our boy for an easy kill. Han Sen stares down the threat, wondering who this terrifying, green-scaled beast actually is. Realizing his own physical stats might be totally outclassed, even in his spirit form, he decides to bail, hoping the cave's rough terrain can help him shake the pursuer. This yaksha lunges with insane speed, its glowing green aura lighting up the gloomy tunnel. That grabbing technique looks way too advanced, like some kind of ancient, lethal martial art. Han Sen feels the pressure, as if that massive hand is crushing his entire world. He desperately parries with his blade, trying to survive the onslaught of the relentless monster. This yaksha snaps his godblood weapon like a dry twig, proving its strength is absurd. Our boy is sweating bullets, shocked that his high-tier gear is basically just cheap plastic. He tries to hold his ground, but the monster is relentless, closing the distance fast. A lucky strike from the Taya sword finally lands, forcing the beast to recoil back. Han Sen realizes his blade actually works, which is a massive win for his survival. He plans to use that edge to retreat, hoping to live another day in hell. This yaksha screams in agony, clearly triggered by the sight of the sacred spirit tree. That monster howls about the tree, losing its mind while demanding Han Sen's immediate death. Our boy tries to deflect the blame, claiming the rabbit ate way more fruit anyway. He dives into the waterfall, desperate to escape the cavern before he gets turned inside out. This enraged beast launches a massive blast, determined to end him right then and there. Han Sen lashes out with a desperate strike, his wings flared for maximum speed. But the ghost yaksha counters with ease, its green energy claws tearing through the air. forcing our boy to dive into the dark river, hoping to lose his relentless pursuer. He swims upstream, banking on his water training to keep him alive in this nightmare. Yet the creature is right on his tail, its glowing eyes locking onto his position, and Han-sen realizes this monster is actually a better swimmer than he is. A clawed hand reaches out, nearly grabbing him in the crushing depths of the cave. He decides he is done running, pulling his blade to face the threat head-on. Clashing with the beast, he channels his power to hold back the incoming green assault. They trade blows in the water, the cavern shaking from the intensity of their struggle. That monster screams in frustration, its movements blurring as it prepares for another lethal strike. It vows to hunt him until one of them dies, a promise Han-sen hates. He knows his Super Emperor state is fading fast, leaving him in a tight spot. 10 seconds is all he has, but at least the duration is finally creeping up. This ghost yaksha mocks him, correctly guessing that his transformation cannot last for very long. Han-sen dares the creature to try again, keeping his guard up despite the fatigue. That monster sneers at his cheap tricks, clearly itching to finish the fight right now. He calls on his dragon-blood snake to intercept, hoping to buy a few precious seconds. But the snake gets swatted away, leaving him exposed in the middle of the river. He notes the beast is even more agile than before, making this a deadly dance. Han-sen barely dodges a lethal strike from the green-scaled monster, moving on instinct. He is shocked by the sheer speed of his attacker, barely keeping his head attached. Diving into the water, he uses the momentum of his fall to gain some distance. But he realizes he just jumped from the frying pan into the fire, literally. A massive chained dragon lurks in the depths, making this underwater fight a total nightmare. Sweating through the struggle, he pushes himself to endure the crushing pressure of the deep. Looking around, he wonders where the storm went, only to find the monster waiting. That green-scaled beast mocks him, genuinely surprised that our boy is still breathing right now. Realizing the dragon hates the monster, Han-sen hopes to turn this rivalry into survival. This monster ignores the dragon, laser-focused on ending Han-sen's life at any cost. Chaos erupts as the dragon lashes out, caught in the middle of their deadly brawl. Sinking deeper, Han-sen realizes he needs a new plan before he runs out of air. Staying near the dragon seems like his only play to keep the monster at bay. He notices the chains holding the dragon are anchored deep into the stone wall. Time is running out, so he starts hacking away at the heavy iron links. This monster tries to blast him, but the dragon takes the brunt of the hit. Sparks fly as his blade bites into the metal, proving his weapon is actually effective. One by one, the chains begin to snap, slowly freeing the massive, trapped beast. He commits to cutting all 6 links, betting everything on this desperate, risky rescue. Watching the final chain break, he prepares for the dragon to finally unleash hell. This chained dragon erupts from the depths, finally breaking free from its watery prison. Han-sen wastes no time, using the chaos to make his grand, high-speed escape. He knows the ghost yaksha is still a massive threat, so survival stays priority number 1. Navigating the winding cave maze, he hopes he is finally heading back toward the surface. Spotting a lone rabbit in the dark, he realizes it might be his ticket out. Finding a trail of dead rabbits with the yaksha's signature aura, he realizes he is hunted. Despite the danger, he scoops up the bunny, promising its safety if it leads him home. Back in his room, he hooks the mysterious Rubik's Cube up to his smart brain device. Holographic projections of the wedding dress sutra pop up, leaving him totally unimpressed by it. He dismisses the cultivation art as useless, clearly looking for something with more raw power. A sudden call from Captain Chin interrupts his research, catching him off guard in his room. She immediately asks to buy his Taya sword, showing just how valuable that blade is. Feigning ignorance, Han-sen plays it cool, claiming the sword is just a simple tool. He knows the truth, that sword is a monster-slaying beast, so he refuses to sell it. Changing the subject, she invites him to instruct a special security class on the Skynet. Logging into the virtual zone, he arrives at the lecture hall to observe the class. This instructor, Han, calls him up to the stage to demonstrate some combat moves. Students whisper about how ordinary Han-sen looks, doubting he has any real teaching skills. Han keeps the tone friendly, telling him to just react naturally during the demo. Meanwhile, Captain Chin worries, knowing Han's phantom fist is a nightmare for any opponent. Han-sen's training session turns into a power play, aiming to humble the arrogant instructors. But he catches the instructor's punch with ease, locking the man's hand in a tight grip. That instructor gasps in total shock, realizing his own body is betraying him against his will. Chin Xuan watches from the sidelines, confused why the instructor is not using his signature combat style. Han-sen forces the man's fists to strike repeatedly, leaving the guy completely unable to stop. Our boy admits he is just mimicking Bayar's energy flow, accidentally showing off insane suction power. This instructor shakes in terror, forced to play along with the demonstration while looking pathetic. Chin Xuan wonders if she misjudged the situation, questioning if Han-sen is actually that dangerous. Onlookers whisper about the instructor's sudden cowardice, assuming he is just terrified of Han-sen's background. Later, Han-sen chats with Chin Xuan about the Taya sword and its mysterious ancient importance. She explains her family's connection to the first emperor, revealing the blade's true legendary status. Ancient history lessons aside, she notes that the sword requires a specific, rare cultivation art. This granduncle spent decades mastering that technique, training with the blade since he was young. Han-sen learns the team was sent to restore the sword and reclaim that lost art. Holding the back half of the blade, he realizes he is sitting on a gold mine. After a month of grinding, he unlocks the third gene lock, ready for a new base. Arriving at the third spirit base, he uses his aura to mask his presence entirely. He starts hunting royal blood spirits one by one, methodically farming genes to boost his stats. Rumors spread among the spirits about a mysterious shadow emperor causing chaos in their territory. Local elites brag that the Rift Sky Emperor will easily crush this intruder with spatial powers. Hansen flexes his new third gene lock, rendering his presence invisible to everyone nearby. He lands a clean hit, proving that stealthy utility beats raw power every single time. This rival spirit mocks him, desperately trying to goad him into fighting the Rift Sky Emperor. Our boy stays unbothered, calmly telling the spirit to send a message of total defiance. Days pass and the spirits are whispering, convinced that Hansen is just a coward. This Rift Sky Emperor scoffs at his mother, swearing he will kill the intruder hundredfold soon. Meanwhile, Hansen is back in the thorn jungle, dealing with the ghost Yaksha's mess. He carries Bayar through the woods, worried about running into that green-scaled monster again. They stumble upon a creepy tree, its branches filled with hanging, spectral-looking entities. Hansen asks Shauna if these things are alive, hoping for a simple answer. She confirms they are just creatures, though her expression looks increasingly uneasy and tense. A strange, decaying body hangs nearby, and they realize this is a death sacrifice. He asks what that even means, clearly out of his depth in this weird place. Shauna explains that when spirits fail to advance, they fuse into this grim ritual site. This energy here is a resurrection trap, designed to fuel a fallen spirit's return. Hansen is floored, realizing 13 super god-class beings are being drained for this purpose. Shauna notes that only a powerful emperor could pull off such a massive, twisted feat. They conclude that a great emperor is likely trying to resurrect a failed predecessor here. Realization hits him, the ghost Yaksha must have headed straight for this exact, dangerous location. Determined to see what is happening, he decides they are crashing the resurrection party. Hansen and his companion analyze the death sacrifice, suspecting the ghost Yaksha's involvement. They realize the orb is the key, potentially weakening their enemy if they strike now. Creeping through the dense, thorny thicket, they finally reach the heart of the dark site. A massive, super god-class creature looms ahead, forcing them to pause and assess the danger. Sudden flashes of energy erupt from the thorns, signaling that something is definitely going down. This ghost Yaksha appears, clearly furious about being played by the Dragon Emperor's twisted schemes. Shauna warns Hansen that the Dragon Emperor is a monster who breaks all laws. Deciding to retreat, Hansen turns around only to realize his toddler ward has vanished. Bayar is crawling straight into the danger zone, completely ignoring her daddy's desperate, panic shouts. He chases after her, screaming at the kid to stop before she gets herself killed. She just smiles and reaches out, beckoning him to follow her into the thorny trap. Trusting his gut, Hansen decides that if Bayar wants in, there must be loot. They push through the razor-sharp vines, finding a hidden clearing bathed in a strange glow. A massive, high-level creature lies there, and Hansen wonders if it's worth some snacks. This Dragon Emperor's body rests before them, with a glowing spirit orb hovering above him. Staring at the prize, they realize snatching that orb is going to be a nightmare. Shauna explains the resurrection is half done, and moving the orb will trigger a deadly trap. Bayar ignores the warnings, casually pointing her tiny gourd at the floating, powerful spirit orb. Green energy beams out, and the artifact sucks the orb right out of the air. Hansen watches in total shock as his toddler casually steals the ultimate legendary treasure. Hansen stands over the fallen, ancient remains, scanning for any hidden, valuable loot. Spotting a small red ring, he dismisses it as just some dead man's junk. Shauna insists he take a closer look, sensing something far more valuable than trash. Crumbling the rotten armor in his hand, he wonders what could possibly be special. She explains the dragon's reverse scale absorbs life force, making it a legendary rare find. Hoping to use the dragon's second soul to break free, he eyes the prize greedily. Bayar suddenly snatches the ring, her tiny fingers closing around the glowing red treasure. He panics, telling her to toss the filthy thing away before it causes trouble. She ignores him completely, waving the ring around like a brand new, shiny toy. Wearing a mischievous grin, the toddler clearly knows exactly what she is holding onto. Shauna snaps, calling them both bastards for their reckless and infuriatingly casual looting habits. Deciding to keep the gift, Hansen figures if she wants it, it is gold. Testing the ring, he presses it against the dragon's neck to confirm its identity. He promises the dead dragon that he will make its name shine brighter than ever. Leaving the death sacrifice behind, they head out, done with that creepy, cursed place. Back at the palace, he stares at the ring, wondering what it actually does. Slipping it onto his finger, he triggers a sudden, unexpected surge of ancient power. Shock hits him as the Dragon Emperor's spirit forces its way into his consciousness. Deep in his mind, he sees a glowing red lotus pulsing with dangerous energy. That lotus erupts, threatening to overwhelm his spirit with the weight of an emperor. This Dragon Emperor tries to break the evil lotus mark, desperate to reclaim his body. Hansen warns the spirit to back off, but the arrogant emperor refuses to listen. Flames erupt as the emperor forces his dragon body to awaken, attempting a hostile takeover. He boasts that no lotus can stop him, planning to use Hansen as his vessel. Blinding light fills the space as Hansen's spirit proves far stronger than the intruder. Our boy reminds the Emperor that he was warned, but now it is too late. Even the mighty Dragon Emperor realizes he is outmatched against a Super Emperor spirit. Hansen crushes the spirit's resistance with ease, showing who really runs this mental show. System notifications confirm a nice boost to his natal genes after the intense struggle. He realizes that defeating this spirit also grants him precious Emperor spirit genes. Grabbing the spirit, he drains its essence, farming more core genes from the defeated foe. This Emperor begs for mercy, terrified that his true form will be scattered forever. Desperate to survive, the creature uses a secret technique to escape the total destruction. Hansen catches the tiny, fleeing spirit in his hand, cutting off its retreat. Another system prompt confirms his stats are climbing, thanks to this pathetic little snack. He threatens to scatter the spirit's soul unless it coughs up some serious, valuable intel. This tiny dragon offers up a legendary treasure location in exchange for its life. Hansen asks about the ghost Yaksha, learning about their ancient, bitter rivalry. He discovers the truth behind those rare fruits that take ages to finally sprout. Back at the shelter, he decides to suppress the ring until he is ready. Hansen heads to the third spirit base, ready to settle scores with Rift Sky. This arrogant emperor mocks him, calling his challenger a petty, scheming little coward. Our boy steps up, asking if he really wants a life and origin deathmatch. A massive shockwave erupts as their energies collide, shaking the very fabric of space. Everyone realizes the mysterious Taisheng Emperor is actually Hansen, hiding in plain sight. Rift Sky demands to know if he is the one who dared to challenge him. This emperor lunges with a spatial strike, swearing to cut his rival into pieces. Hansen knows this is his final fight here, aiming to farm some genes. He powers up, his golden form radiating an intensity that makes the void tremble. This spatial emperor tears open the air, trying to slice Hansen into nothingness. Rift Sky warns him that passing through a spatial fissure is basically a death sentence. Space itself begins to shred his opponent, but the damage is barely scratching him. Even the Taisheng technique struggles, proving Rift Sky's spatial mastery is truly on another level. This emperor gloats, claiming his enemy is already being diced by the void's edge. Hansen ignores the taunts, channeling his own power to counter the deadly assault. He lands a brutal punch, shattering the spatial barrier with raw, overwhelming physical force. A system notification pops up, confirming he just gained a precious natal gene boost. Our boy scoffs at the emperor, telling him his spatial tricks are just pathetic. He unleashes a final devastating strike that sends the emperor flying through the stars. This onlookers watch in horror as Rift Sky gets punched right back into his stone. Spirits chatter about the Taisheng Emperor, terrified of the chaos his ascension will surely bring. Hansen unleashes a brutal, final assault, determined to wipe his rival off the map. Rift Sky takes the full brunt of the attack, his defenses crumbling under the sheer pressure. Space itself shatters as the Emperor is blasted away, his arrogance meeting a swift end. System notifications flood in, confirming Hansen has maxed out his spatial Emperor gene count. He mocks the defeated spirit, calling out the pathetic lack of challenge in this world. Bored by the easy win, our boy sighs, still waiting for a real decent fight. Onlookers watch in awe, whispering that only the Taisheng Emperor could ever pull this off. Back at home, Hansen examines the dragon scale, suspicious of the weird carved script. He realizes the markings are Shura, wondering why they are on a dragon's reverse scale. Zero speaks up, identifying the strange text as a fragment of the ancient Asura language. Hansen stares at her, shocked that she can actually decipher such an obscure script. She points out the meaning, leaving him stunned that she can read the ancient code. He asks her to translate the rest, desperate to uncover the secrets of the scale. Zero reads the opening lines, confirming it is a version of the falsified Sky Sutra. Suddenly, she demonstrates the technique, slashing the air with a burst of raw, red energy. Hansen watches the display, his jaw hitting the floor at the sheer power unleashed. He questions her about the training, but she claims she just picked it up randomly. Deciding to let her continue, he figures it is better for her to stay protected. He ponders the strange connection between the Shura, the dragon, and the powerful sutra technique. Hansen finds a mysterious package waiting at his doorstep, totally uninvited. He reads the note from the blind man, warning him to hide the contents. That name rings a bell, reminding him of a book from the second shelter. He stares at the box, wondering if opening it is a death wish or jackpot. Shauna pops the lid, curious to see what kind of trouble he dragged home. Inside sits a strange metallic vessel, clearly linked to the shady Bloodlife Alliance. Hansen shakes the container, finding it suspiciously light and completely empty. Confusion hits him hard. How could a sealed box hold absolutely nothing at all? Suddenly, a glowing red bead appears in his palm, pulsing with weird, intense energy. Old Huang interrupts his discovery, reporting a wounded godblood beast in the thorn jungle. Our boy agrees to investigate, seeing a perfect chance to test his fourth lock. This title card flashes, signaling that the real hunt is about to go down. They arrive at the dense thorn jungle, ready to track the injured high-tier target. Hansen scans the brush, demanding to know where this godblood creature is hiding. A massive dark snake slithers into view, looking hurt but still incredibly dangerous. He orders Old Huang to prepare for combat, keeping his bow drawn and steady. This beast lashes out with a golden beam, proving it has plenty of fight. Hansen shouts a warning as the snake lunges, forcing them to scatter fast. Poison clouds erupt from the serpent, making this hunt a total toxic nightmare. He leaps through the trees, dodging the snake's relentless strikes in the wild woods. Hansen draws his bow, ready to kite the massive, injured snake to death, and with a clean shot, he finally takes down the beast for the win. He sighs in relief, admitting even with 3 gene locks that was a close call. Suddenly, a strange, intense gaze locks onto him from the depths of the dark woods. A massive blue monkey crashes into the scene, moving with terrifying, unnatural speed and power. It snatches the snake carcass right out of the air, showing off some serious nerve. Hansen watches the thief, clearly annoyed that his hard-earned loot just got swiped away. This monkey tears into the snake, its raw strength making light work of the kill. He notes the claw marks on the snake, realizing this ape is a god-blood threat. Watching the creature zip through the trees, he wonders if it uses actual time powers. He chats with his ally, realizing this monkey has been poaching their kills for ages. This next day, he carries Bayar on his shoulders, ready to hunt the primate down. He knows if the monkey gets too aggressive, Bayar will just suck it away. A golden arrow flies true, catching the monkey off guard in the dense brush. He grins, knowing the bait worked perfectly to lure the arrogant beast into range. This monkey retaliates with a furious strike, but Hansen is already moving to counter. He unleashes his aura, trapping the creature in a field of intense, focused energy. Locking down all 7 of its senses, he dares the beast to try running. A well-placed shot pierces the monkey, forcing it to howl in pain and shock. He finishes the job with another strike, finally putting the pesky thief to rest. Hansen draws his bow, frustrated by how fast the target keeps moving away. Tracking the blood trail, he knows he can finally corner the wounded beast now. Bayar points out the local monkey population, clearly unimpressed by the dangerous jungle surroundings. Our boy realizes the sheer number of apes, led by a massive blue-furred king. That blue-furred beast lunges with terrifying speed, ready to tear him apart on sight. Hansen stands his ground, watching the swarm of monkeys descend from the trees. He unleashes a powerful aura, forcing the primates to lose their senses in panic. Chaos erupts as the monkeys scramble, completely disoriented by his sudden, overwhelming energy burst. A dark shadow forms, signaling his intent to finish this hunt once and for all. This confused monkeys shriek in terror, having no idea what just hit their ranks. He follows the retreating apes, hoping they lead him straight to their hidden den. Spotting a massive waterfall, he wonders if the water source is actually magical. Climbing the rocks, he vows to slaughter every last monkey if they keep interfering. Diving into the hidden cave behind the falls, he prepares for whatever comes next. Bayar asks about the monkeys, while he keeps his guard up in the dark. Glowing trees emerge from the gloom, revealing a secret stash of rare gene plants. He realizes he hit the jackpot, staring at the fruit bursting with life force. Bayar crawls toward the glowing snacks, ignoring his desperate warnings about potential hidden dangers. She starts munching on the fruit, casually inviting her dad to join the feast. Hansen sighs, accepting that while she gets the snacks, he still has monkeys. A swarm of blue apes descends, clearly not interested in a friendly neighborhood chat. Hansen keeps Bayar tucked away, her snack time interrupted by this primate invasion. Realizing his stealth art is failing, he decides to use the environment as bait. He baits the apes toward the trees, hoping they care more about fruit than him. Something catches his eye in the distance, a strange object sitting in the brush. He spots a man-made teapot, wondering who on earth is having tea in this jungle. Running for his life, he ignores the mystery to focus on not getting shredded. This blue ape king strikes, its claws narrowly missing the teapot and the ground. Debris litters the valley floor, revealing a bizarre collection of ancient, buried household items. Hitting a dead end, he realizes he is trapped in this weird, cluttered valley. Another slash from the ape king forces him to dodge with everything he has. Taking to the air, he mocks the grounded ape, flaunting his superior flight ability. That blue-furred beast stares back with pure, unadulterated rage, ready to jump even higher. Something feels off, as if the monkey is playing a much deeper, darker game. Swinging his blade, he hits an invisible barrier, stopping his escape dead in tracks. Realizing the sky itself is blocked, he knows the only way out is back. He dives back into the fray, wings flared, hoping to find a new path. This cave entrance has vanished, leaving him stranded in this bizarre, confusing mountain range. A title card flashes, signaling the start of a new high-stakes arc for him. Welcome to the Monkey King Valley, where the loot is hidden and danger lurks. Hansen finds himself scaling slippery cliffs, cursing the terrain for being a total pain. He realizes his current strategy is failing, so he needs a better way to survive. Suddenly, the blue-furred ape king lunges, forcing him to unleash his golden spirit form. He fires a massive energy blast, but the beast just shrugs it off like nothing. Watching the monkey walk away unscathed, he wonders how many gene locks this thing opened. This creature zips away into the trees, leaving him questioning if he actually missed it. Deciding to conserve his energy, he stops the chase, knowing he needs a smarter plan. He finds a tree full of glowing fruit, realizing this is why Bayar was obsessed. Taking a bite, he gets a system notification that his innate gene just leveled up. Realizing every fruit in the valley is a gold mine, he starts planning a feast. Days pass as he farms gene points, his belly full and his stats climbing high. This local monkeys watch from the shadows, too scared to attack his super emperor form. He relaxes under the trees, enjoying the quiet life while Bayar keeps snacking away. Noticing the apes are getting stronger too, he realizes they are outsiders just like him. Stuffed to the brim, he sighs, wishing his stomach could handle more of this loot. Months drag on and he marks the days on a tree, still stuck in limbo. Looking at the sky, he notes the sun never sets, making the valley feel frozen. A monkey suddenly grabs him from behind and he snaps at the pests to back. This ape chatters at him, seemingly trying to point out something hidden in the valley. Following the creature, he discovers a strange path, wondering what kind of trap awaits him. Hansen spots strange ancient markings on the cliff, wondering if humans carved them. He realizes his own strength is pathetic compared to whatever beast made those deep gouges. 3 years have flown by in the valley, and he is finally ready to escape. Our boy stares in disbelief, realizing Bayar has not aged a single day during their imprisonment. A massive opening in the mountain wall finally reveals the path to the outside world. He drops to his knees in pure relief, screaming that they are finally free again. Leaping from the cave, Hansen celebrates his return to the world with Bayar held. Meanwhile, a group of riders patrols the Ghost Calamity Range, desperate for any sign of hope. Their leader spots movement on the left, barking orders for the team to prepare combat. Shadows emerge from the dust, revealing a lone human carrying a child through the wasteland. This commander stares, confused how any human could survive here while lugging a toddler around. Hansen waves his hand, shouting that he is an ally and not a threat. His riders remain tense, refusing to lower their weapons until they confirm his true identity. A woman steps forward to block the attack, insisting that he is definitely a friend. She introduces him as the famous son-in-law of the first leader, shocking the entire squad. Recognizing her as Weiwei, he asks what she is doing in these dangerous mountain ranges. They compare notes on the current date, realizing something is seriously wrong with the timeline. He calculates that 3 years passed inside the valley but only days outside, total insanity. This squad questions him about the baby and he lies, calling her a combat pet. 4 days later, the group reaches the lightning forest, wondering how to survive the path. This group faces a grim reality, deciding that charging forward is their only option. Suddenly, a terrifying, glowing skeleton erupts from the shadows, screaming in pure, raw agony. Panic sets in as the team debates turning back, fearing certain death in this forest. Weiwei shuts down the retreat, reminding them that the shelter is already lost to spirits. Their leader steps up, offering a choice to either follow him or turn back now. Loyalty keeps the squad together, as they refuse to abandon those who died for them. Every survivor agrees to push forward, choosing to fight rather than wait for the end. Hansen suddenly halts the group, sensing something dangerous lurking in the dark woods ahead. Danger surrounds them as a pack of glowing creatures closes in for the kill. Red eyes pierce the gloom, revealing a swarm of wolves hungry for fresh human blood. Bayar innocently mistakes the deadly predators for kittens while Hansen corrects her with dread. Lightning-charged wolves lunge from the trees, moving with a speed that defies all natural laws. Hansen strikes back, his blade cutting through the air as he defends the group. A massive wolf howls, crackling with raw electricity as it prepares to unleash hell. Realization hits the team, they are facing a god-blood creature, a nightmare in the flesh. This commander draws his sword, rushing to draw the wolves' attention away from his allies. Hansen keeps his cool, counting his kills while juggling the toddler on his back. Channeling the 4th tier of his sutra, he prepares to test his power in battle. This wolf suddenly slows down, confused by the strange energy radiating from the human fighter. Victory is theirs as the Wolf King flees, leaving the survivors stunned by the outcome. This squad watches the wolves act like total idiots, confused by their sudden brain-dead behavior. Hansen steps up, casually mentioning he's the one messing with their senses right now. Everyone is floored, realizing their survival is entirely thanks to his secret, overpowered combat ability. Deep in the lightning forest, the team remains on high alert for any incoming threats. Someone suggests they book it, but Hansen is ready to turn these mutts into. More wolves keep pouring out of the woods, making the situation look increasingly grim today. He admits his current gene locks are barely holding back these common, annoying mutant pests. Suddenly, a god-blood wolf king appears, and the vibe in the forest shifts, instantly terrifying. This pack is clearly holding a grudge, circling the group with hungry, glowing red eyes. These wolves are evolving mid-fight, moving faster and ignoring his sensory-blocking tricks like total pros. Hansen realizes they've stopped rushing in, opting for long-range lightning attacks to wear them. A bolt of electricity strikes, proving these beasts have actually leveled up their combat intelligence. This commander curses, realizing they are dealing with predators that are way smarter than expected. No one can fall for the same trick twice, especially when the enemy is adapting. A wolf lunges at the commander, forcing Hansen to jump into the fray immediately. Our boy grins, knowing it is finally time to show off some real raw power. He unleashes the Phoenix Undying Flames, supercharged by his bloodline life nerves for maximum destruction. Waves of fire erupt, turning the forest into a literal oven for the charging wolves. This pack howls in pain as the flames consume them, completely overwhelmed by his heat. Standing amidst the inferno, Hansen looks like an absolute legend to his stunned allies. Hansen mocks the wolf pack, unimpressed by their supposed legendary status and power. But the wolves keep crackling with electricity, refusing to back down from the fight. Our boy lunges forward, his body wreathed in intense flames to meet the charge. He shouts a command to die, slamming his fiery strike into the lead beast. Victory pops up on his screen, though the loot drop is honestly pretty mid. This commander watches in total disbelief, wondering how Hansen just nuked a king. Weiwei looks equally stunned, struggling to process that he only recently became a surpasser. Another wolf falls to his blade, yet the system still refuses to drop loot. This remaining wolves start shaking in their boots, finally realizing they picked the wrong. Their leader screams for everyone to move, sensing the situation is about to spiral. Han Sen drops the bomb. They are actually facing 5 different wolf kings right now. A massive crackling beast emerges, revealing the true terrifying king of this entire pack. Bayar points at the monster and calls it a kitty, bless her chaotic heart. He realizes this is a super god-class threat and preps his Emperor Spirit state. This wolf king lets out a deafening howl, vibrating the very air around them. Suddenly, the beast turns its back and walks away, leaving the squad completely confused. Everyone stares at the retreating monster, wondering what kind of weird game it's playing. 4 days of trekking later, the group finally escapes that nightmare of a forest. They spot a mysterious person floating on the water, and Han Sen confirms humanity. A guy on a giant turtle waves hello, making the reunion feel weirdly casual. This commander freezes, eyes wide as he realizes exactly who is standing before him. Huawei's squad whispers in shock, identifying the stranger as a legendary genius from the mines. Liu Yuxuan struts forward with a smug grin, acting like he owns the entire mountain. Han Sen listens to the pitch, watching this guy try to recruit them into slavery. Yuxuan keeps pushing his agenda, warning them that the mountains are basically a death trap. Our boy watches the salesman work, noting how desperate he is to secure new recruits. Huawei turns to Han Sen, silently asking if they should actually trust this shady character. Yuxuan condescendingly dismisses Han Sen, assuming he is just a weak kid who lacks experience. Han Sen plays along, feigning interest while secretly planning to turn the tables on him. This trap is set, with Yuxuan promising safe passage through a super god-class creature's territory. Yuxuan thinks he is the mastermind, plotting to use the beast to wipe them out. A random sneeze ruins the tension, making Yuxuan paranoid that his plan is already exposed. Bats swarm the dark cavern, adding a layer of creepy atmosphere to their tense trek. Yuxuan starts making weird noises, convinced he is communicating with the local wildlife right now. He tells the group to wait, claiming he is summoning a powerful beastly escort service. A massive winged monster descends from the heights, looking ready to tear everything apart. Yuxuan looks absolutely terrified despite his bravado, sweating bullets as the beast lands nearby. Han Sen watches the chaos, realizing Yuxuan is about to become the perfect meat shield. This group watches in awe as Yuxuan bows down, groveling before the massive, terrifying creature. Yuxuan offers the squad as a snack, hoping the monster spares him for later fun. Han Sen holds the Beast King's cub, shocking the onlookers with his casual handling. Liu Yuxuan stares in disbelief, wondering how this human managed to befriend such a monster. Bayar snacks on a dense blood fruit, Han Sen noting its power rivals ancient treasures. This squad watches in awe, questioning if the Beast King actually gifted him the fruit. Bayar plants a sweet kiss on the cub, completely unfazed by its terrifying, monstrous appearance. This Beast King lets out a massive roar, summoning a swarm of bats above them. Han Sen realizes the cub is actually communicating, understanding human speech this entire time. Yuxuan seethes with jealousy, baffled by the ridiculous luck Han Sen has in this wasteland. This group thanks Yuxuan for the escort while he pushes them to share the loot. Han Sen casually admits he gave the precious fruit to Bayar, leaving them all stunned. Yuxuan loses his cool, screaming about wasting such a rare treasure on a mere pet. Our boy remains calm while the others try to de-escalate the growing, awkward tension. Yuxuan mutters threats under his breath, plotting to lead them all into a deadly trap. He claims they are almost out of the mountains, urging them to keep moving forward. Flames erupt from Yuxuan's hands as he finally drops the act and confronts them openly. A fiery serpent lunges at Han Sen, Yuxuan demanding to see his true, hidden strength. Han Sen unleashes his own blazing aura, meeting the attack with a massive, fiery counter. Shock hits Yuxuan's face, realizing he completely underestimated the power of his intended target. This flames consume Yuxuan, his arrogance burning away as he realizes his fatal tactical error. A giant turtle blasts him with icy energy, ending his pathetic attempt at betrayal forever. Han Sen locks in, his eyes glowing as he prepares to drop the hammer. Lunging at the massive tortoise, he brings the heat with a fiery, high-speed strike. Down goes the beast, and the system confirms a sweet god-blood soul for our boy. Meanwhile, the rescued guy is losing his mind, screaming about heaven going completely blind. Han Sen keeps it cool, promising to fix things later while the guy just panics. Ordering the squad to stay put, he drags the guy into the mountains for backup. Tossing the guy aside like trash, he asks the squad if they heard that. Screaming at the guy to move, he makes it clear that hesitation equals instant death. Suddenly, the ground shakes as a massive white snake slithers out from the shadows. Looming over them, the weeping blood white snake turns the entire forest into a graveyard. Warning Han Sen to watch out, the squad braces for a fight they cannot win. Opening its jaws wide, the snake reveals a glowing mushroom, offering it as tribute. Staring at the prize, Han Sen wonders if this rare treasure is actually for him. Questioning his own luck, he wonders why these monsters are suddenly acting like delivery drivers. Losing his cool, the guy screams that a dragon's saliva Ganoderma is totally impossible here. Calling the snake a big loach, Bayar tells everyone it's friendly, so just follow it. Leading the way through the cliffs, the giant snake guides them like a pet. Asking what kind of spell he cast, the woman stares at him in total disbelief. Playing dumb, he shrugs off the mystery while the squad tries to process the insanity. 1 month later, they finally clear the mountains, feeling like they just woke from dreams. This traitor begs for a quick death, his spirit contract turning into pure agony. Blood sprays as he suffers, paying the ultimate price for his pathetic, backstabbing betrayal. Hansen watches the mess, deciding that even a traitor deserves a clean, final end. This group continues their trek through the hills, oblivious to the buzzing threat above them. Our boy senses the shift, warning everyone that more unwanted gifts are arriving right now. A massive dark swarm descends from the sky, blocking out the sun like a nightmare. Golden insects swarm in, looking hostile and ready to turn the squad into lunch meat. Flames erupt as Hansen unleashes his aura, confused why his usual tricks are not working. Panic hits the team as the bugs swarm, forcing them to fight for their lives. Fire swirls around them, but the insects are relentless, forcing Hansen to get serious. He yells at Bayar to wake up and start snacking, needing her weird suction power. A sudden, chilling howl echoes through the forest, cutting through the chaos of the fight. Lightning strikes the ground, reminding them of the Wolf King that once spared their lives. Hansen stares into the dark, wondering if their survival is tied to that beast. Blue electricity tears through the air, signaling the arrival of something truly powerful and fast. A small, white fox-like creature appears, crackling with energy amidst the wreckage of the fight. Recognition hits him hard. It is Little Silver, the companion he thought he had lost. He scoops up the little guy, finally realizing who was protecting them all this time. Bayar glares at the newcomer, clearly not a fan of sharing her dad's undivided attention. This ground cracks open as they prepare to move on, leaving the carnage far behind. That golden bug beast is back, proving it's the most persistent pest in existence. Hansen dodges the massive strike, while his allies scramble to avoid the carnage. Little Silver steps up, crackling with raw electric energy to face the giant threat. Blue lightning surges from the fox, illuminating the dark battlefield with intense, blinding power. A massive discharge of electricity erupts, slamming into the bug with shocking, lethal force. Smoke clears as Hansen praises his companion, clearly impressed by the sudden display. This golden bug takes the full hit, its defenses crumbling under the electric assault. Our boy watches the beast flee, noting that at least it knows when to quit. He introduces Little Silver to the squad, who are stunned by his bizarre connections. Bayar pouts while Hansen pets the fox, feeling much safer with their bodyguard. A few days later, a group of strangers approaches them on the open plains. They ask for directions to a human shelter, unaware of the local spirit politics. Hansen learns the area is ruled by the Sword Palace, and he's intrigued. The strangers warn him to flee, but he's already plotting a hostile takeover instead. He casually mentions he'll just conquer the entire palace, leaving everyone completely speechless today. Back at the Sword Furnace shelter, he tells Little Silver to stop standing guard. Suddenly, the fox starts howling at the empty horizon, acting strangely restless and sad. Hansen asks if it misses its friends, but the creature just stares intensely. Without warning, Little Silver bolts away, leaving him scrambling to catch the runaway pet. He chases after the fox, wondering what on earth could have triggered this madness. Hansen is totally baffled, wondering why Little Silver just zapped him with lightning. Our boy stares at the fox, who is clearly not in the mood for cuddles. He tries to reason with the pet, swearing that nobody is taking him away. Hugging the little guy tight, he refuses to let his favorite companion just bolt. Suddenly, a massive wave of killing intent hits them, making the air feel heavy. Something dark and ominous lurks in the woods, radiating pure, unadulterated bad vibes today. A nine-tailed ghost fox emerges, its aura feeling like a straight-up vengeful spirit. Little Silver howls in warning, sensing the danger this ghostly predator brings to them. This massive spirit beast looms over Hansen, looking ready to tear him apart. Little Silver fires off a desperate blast of electricity, trying to hold the line. That dark fox shrugs off the shock, proving it is way out of league. Red energy flares as the spirit beast attacks, putting our boy on the defensive. Hansen realizes his best moves are useless, feeling the pressure mount in seconds. Dark tendrils choke him, the spirit gloating about how he is going to die. Little Silver keeps howling, refusing to give up even when things look totally hopeless. This ghost fox rants about a broken deal, claiming Hansen is now forfeit. Struggling to breathe, he fights the possession, refusing to let his body be stolen. Suddenly, he unleashes his golden emperor form, glowing with enough power to blind anyone. This spirit beast mocks his efforts, claiming its ghostly body is completely immune. Hansen winds up a massive punch, ready to prove that ego gets crushed. That nine-tailed ghost fox is losing its mind, wondering how Hansen actually landed hits. Our boy keeps the pressure on, refusing to let the spirit beast catch a break. Golden energy rains down as he unleashes a flurry of strikes, pure unadulterated aggression. A direct hit pierces the fox, forcing it to howl in genuine soul-shaking pain. He keeps the momentum, darting around the beast to deliver another heavy, glowing blow. This fox tries to scramble away, but Hansen is glued to its tail. Desperation sets in for the spirit, its pride shattered as it begs for mercy. Pinned against the rock, the creature offers all its treasures just to stay alive. One final strike seals the deal, silencing the fox's pathetic, frantic cries for help. This system confirms the kill, though the loot drop is honestly a total letdown. Hansen collapses, his body completely wrecked from pushing his emperor state that hard. Little Silver arrives to patch him up, though the fox's healing is slow going. Handing over the life essence, he lets the fox keep the prize as payment. Sprawled on the ground, he dreams of raiding the fox's secret stash once recovered. Back in his room, he notes Little Silver has vanished to hunt for loot. A panicked guard bangs on his door, screaming about a spirit challenge outside. This sword ghost prince arrives at the gate, leading a small army of angry spirits. His allies are shaking in their boots, wondering if they should just surrender now. Hansen steps up, ready to fight despite being nowhere near full health. This prince demands they crawl out and surrender, clearly enjoying his own villainous monologue. Hansen stands tall, dismissing the threat as just another royal spirit to crush. He challenges the sword ghost prince to a duel, promising surrender if he loses. This prince accepts the gamble, eager to see what this human is actually worth. Stil clashes as the prince lunges, his arrogance fueling a massive, heavy-handed sword strike. Hansen parries the blow, his movements sharp enough to keep the prince guessing. He realizes the prince is a physical powerhouse, far stronger than his own body. Dodging a lethal slash, he notes the prince has likely opened 8 gene locks. This prince unleashes a flurry of sword strikes, hoping to turn Hansen into. Onlookers watch in awe, noting Hansen's footwork mirrors legendary techniques from the past. Frustrated by the stalemate, the prince demands a head-on fight to end this quickly. He screams for Hansen to stop dodging and finally trade some real blows. This prince rallies his spirit army, preparing to overwhelm the shelter with sheer numbers. Hansen realizes the prince is playing dirty, trying to distract him from defense. He shifts his stance, channeling dark energy to counter the prince's relentless sword assault. A sudden impact leaves the prince stunned, his guard broken by a precise strike. Hansen summons the Greenlight Falcon, catching the prince completely off guard with speed. This spectral bird dives, its green energy tearing through the air like a blade. Feathers fly as the falcon strikes, forcing the prince to scramble in total panic. This system confirms the kill, though the loot drop is honestly a massive disappointment. Shock fills the prince's face, realizing his perfect plan just fell apart in seconds. Hansen unleashes a massive energy burst, completely overwhelming the spirit prince with power. Blood sprays as his blade cuts deep, ending the royal spirit's reign of terror. He stands over the fallen foe, mocking the prince for his pathetic, arrogant attitude. Another swift strike finishes the job, leaving the spirit prince broken and utterly defeated. Searching the area, he sighs in frustration because the spirit stone is nowhere found. Back at the Holy Sword shelter, Qin Junhao sits tight while waiting for some news. A visitor arrives, urgently asking for a private chat to discuss the latest developments. Rumors fly about the prince getting absolutely wrecked, much to the emperor's visible rage. Junhao wonders who could possibly take down a royal spirit with 8 gene locks. News breaks that it was actually a human, marking the first real hope here. Hansen walks through the halls, Bayar in his arms and shopping bags ready. Checking his phone, he wonders why Weiwei is hitting him up at this hour. They huddle over a map, plotting a desperate escape from the encroaching Holy Sword Emperor. Questions arise about the legendary Phoenix Desert and the mysterious ancient God Mountain Peak. A flashback reveals the desert's harsh terrain, where the 7th brother was once captured. That captive used his unique skills to survive, helping the Emperor find the mountain. Everyone agrees the 7th brother is a total legend for outsmarting an Emperor's spirit. His background as a geology professor and geomancy master makes him the ultimate guide. Hansen declares he is going to the desert, ignoring all warnings of suicide. With a confident smirk, he vows that as long as he breathes, he wins. Hansen enters the scorching Phoenix Desert, ready to hunt for the legendary mountain. Trekking through the dunes with Bayar, he checks his map to stay on course. Suddenly, massive black scorpions erupt from the sand, looking for a quick, easy snack. Recognizing the sandstone scorpions from his intel, he knows he is in the right place. Checking the fresh corpses, he realizes he is getting dangerously close to the Holy Sword Emperor. Bayar complains about the intense heat, her little face flushed from the desert's harsh sun. Trying to keep her focused, Hansen ignores the discomfort to prioritize their urgent mission. Drawing his blade, he prepares to carve a path through the encroaching, deadly scorpion swarm. Spotting the distant peak through the haze, he shouts that he has finally found it. Scaling the jagged cliffs of the Phoenix God Mountain, he pushes his tired body upward. Wondering if this climb leads all the way to the Celestial Palace, he keeps ascending. Bayar suddenly reaches out, her tiny hand grabbing onto a hidden crevice in the rock. Laughing as she scampers ahead, she leaves Hansen scrambling to keep up with her. Pointing toward a tree, she claims there is treasure waiting for them to grab it. Suspicious of the strange environment, he wonders if his eyes are playing tricks on him. Reaching into the dark hollow, he is shocked to find a hand waiting inside. Bayar pops her head out from the tree, scaring the absolute life out of him. Peering into the hollow, he realizes there is a secret passage hidden inside the trunk. Finding a stash of glowing mushrooms, he trusts Bayar's iron stomach to test them first. Munching on the loot, he gains super gene points but laments the system's annoying cap. Hansen and Bayar climb the dark tunnel, hoping it leads to the Phoenix shelter. Emerging into the light, they find themselves standing high atop the Phoenix God Mountain. Looking around, he realizes this hidden cave path actually pops out right at the summit. He spots a massive tree, wondering what kind of beast could slice through it so. Peering closer, he realizes there is something special hidden deep inside the tree's hollow trunk. Inside the dark space, a glowing feather radiates pure energy, catching his immediate intense interest. Grabbing the heavy metallic plume, he realizes it is far too dense to be normal. Swinging the feather like a blade, he wonders if it came from a living bird. Deciding to call it the Phoenix God Sword, he plans to master it alongside techniques. Noticing something odd in the hollow, he pauses to investigate the strange, dark markings nearby. Brushing away the debris, he finds ancient spirit script carved directly into the stone floor. These mysterious symbols look ancient, holding secrets that have been buried for countless long years. Calling for Thorn, he asks if she can decipher the cryptic message etched in stone. She confirms they are spirit characters, warning that the prophecy mentions the phoenix's tragic fall. Realizing the gravity of the warning, he feels a sudden chill run down his spine. They approach a mysterious door, wondering if this is truly the entrance to the shelter. Stepping through the threshold, they descend a long staircase into the depths of the mountain. Entering a grand hall, he finds it filled with countless bronze bird statues and relics. Scanning the room, he notes every bird is represented except for the legendary phoenix itself. Finding a golden throne, he realizes this is where the phoenix great emperor once sat. Hansen sits on a throne, wondering why this hall feels so weirdly empty. Suddenly his eyes widen as the room's static art starts showing signs of life. Flaming birds erupt from the murals, leaving him stunned by this sudden, divine display. Golden spirits swarm the air, swirling around him like a storm of ancient power. A wall suddenly shifts and grinds open, revealing a hidden chamber in the dark. Hansen hears a booming noise, wondering what kind of monster just woke up. Out steps the evil emotion emperor, a massive spirit radiating pure, ancient, and terrifying energy. Our boy feels his aura get crushed, realizing he needs to play this smart. This emperor screams in delight, celebrating his freedom after 100,000 years trapped. Looking down at Hansen, the spirit demands respect from this supposed fellow spirit. Confused by the emperor's ignorance, Hansen realizes the guy has been isolated forever. Playing along, he bows low and introduces himself as a special, humble spirit servant. This emperor critiques his physique, but accepts the flattery and asks about the seal. Hansen lies through his teeth, claiming he just walked by and triggered it. This spirit rants about the Phoenix Emperor, clearly holding a massive, ancient, burning grudge. Ordering Hansen to follow, the emperor promises rewards for his new little lackey. They plan to raid the Phoenix Emperor's vault with Hansen playing the fool. This emperor blasts a path through the debris, showing off his insane raw power. Mocking Hansen for being slow, the spirit marches ahead into the dark tunnel. He punches through the rock with ease, leaving our boy to scramble behind him. Hansen eyes the massive spirit, stunned by the sheer physical power on display. They stand before a glowing pool, the holy jade fruit waiting for the taking. This evil emotion emperor gloats, finally getting his hands on the prize he craved, but the fruit shatters instantly, turning into a trap that catches him off guard. Golden energy erupts, binding the spirit in a cage of stone jade restraints. Hansen watches the chaos, wondering what kind of security system this place has. This emperor rages, cursing the Phoenix Emperor for such a devious long-term setup. Another blast of mist hits, proving the vault is rigged with endless surprises. Our boy realizes the entire tomb was designed specifically to neutralize this specific threat. This spirit struggles, his hand turning to stone while he screams at his enemy. Desperate for an exit, the emperor grabs Hansen, demanding help to break free. He explains the stone shell is only skin deep, begging the human to shatter it. Hansen plays along, wondering why this ancient powerhouse thinks he is a savior. Suddenly, the heavy doors slide open, signaling that someone else has arrived. Our boy turns around, sensing a new dangerous presence entering the grand hall. This holy sword emperor steps inside, looking for answers and ready to start trouble. Hansen keeps his cool, refusing to bow or reveal his true identity. This emperor loses his patience, firing a massive beam of energy at him. Dodging with lightning reflexes, Hansen avoids the strike by a hair's breadth. This holy sword emperor stares in disbelief, shocked that a mere human survived his attack. Hansen unleashes a flurry of blinding energy, catching the holy sword emperor off guard. Dodging the lethal assault, he realizes he stumbled into a fight with a heavyweight. Adjusting his glasses, the observer watches the chaos unfold with a calm, analytical gaze. Mocking Hansen's evasive tactics, the emperor demands a real fight instead of running. Our boy pivots, narrowly avoiding a massive strike that shatters the ground beneath him. This emperor channels his rage, his fist crackling with enough power to level mountains. Debris flies everywhere as the spirit beast's armor starts to crumble under the pressure. Impressed by the human's grit, the evil emotion emperor praises his ability to borrow power. Hansen plays the loyal servant, secretly plotting to let these two monsters exhaust. Shock hits the emperor's face when he realizes who is actually standing before him. Tension spikes as the two spirits lock eyes, clearly sharing a long, bitter history. Bowing with fake humility, the emperor recounts the legend of his rival's past glory. Whispering a warning, Hansen feeds the fire by mentioning the stolen Geno treasure. Demanding the loot, the emperor threatens instant death if his demands are not met immediately. Sweating bullets, the guy realizes he is way out of his depth against them. Lunging forward with lethal intent, the emperor decides that hesitation is a death sentence. Hansen refuses to let the spirit escape, pinning him down with pure aggression. Recognizing the newcomer as the seventh brother, he realizes help has finally arrived today. Seventh brother offers a way out, claiming a legendary treasure could change everything forever. Choosing to stand his ground, Hansen vows to protect his ally until the end. Hansen and his guide reach the massive bronze gate, staring at the ancient carvings. This guide warns of extreme danger, questioning if they are truly at the Windai location. Explaining the path requires stepping into death to find rebirth, he instructs on the signal. Both men grab the door rings, knocking in perfect unison to trigger the heavy, ancient mechanism. This gate grinds open as they scramble back, watching the entrance reveal a hidden path. A spectral phoenix erupts in flames, the heat so intense it even burns spirit-type genes. Urging them to hurry, the guide notes the gate will seal forever once the phoenix returns. 18 lamps line the path, the guide realizing this is a complex yin-yang spirit arrangement. Hansen stares into the pitch-black tunnel, unable to see what horrors await them inside. Theorizing the Phoenix Great Emperor was actually a pair of spirits, the guide explains everything. Warning that the lamps are the only way to survive, the guide hesitates at the threshold. Hansen grabs a lamp and marches forward, forcing the guide to watch in total shock. Questioning the point of calculating fate, he ignores the warnings and commits to the path. This guide panics as Hansen takes the lamp of life within death, sensing a total calamity. Screaming for Hansen to turn back, the guide watches him vanish into the darkness. Blue flames flare from the lamp, illuminating the void with a strange, eerie, ghostly energy. This guide stares in disbelief, his face pale as he realizes the situation is spiraling. Trapped in the dark, the guide feels the crushing weight of the surrounding blue energy. Sudden, violent force slams into him, the guide crying out as his defenses shatter instantly. Dying phoenix flames consume the space, leaving the guide to wonder what just hit him. Hansen catches up to the guide, questioning why he ignored their agreed-upon plan. This guide is baffled that Hansen can wield a life lamp despite his death flame. Darkness swallows the path ahead, the flickering light barely holding back the encroaching void. Tension spikes as they realize the environment is completely scorched by some ancient power. Sunlight breaks through the gloom, yet the guide insists they are still on track. Checking his compass, the guide claims they have arrived at the fabled Phoenix Eye. Hansen looks around, unimpressed by the lack of any obvious, shiny, legendary treasure. Crushing some debris, the guide warns that the residual energy here is extremely dangerous. Rustling sounds erupt from the brush, signaling they are definitely not alone out here. Bayar wanders off, returning with a fluffy, unsuspecting sheep that just appeared from nowhere. Laughing with pure joy, Bayar hops onto the creature's back for a quick ride. Hansen shouts for her to get down, sensing the situation is getting weird. The sheep starts bucking, but Bayar just clings on, loving every second of it. Trembling with fear, the guide begs Hansen to drop the sheep immediately. A stampede of glowing-eyed sheep charges toward them, turning the peaceful forest into chaos. Hansen tries to play it cool, patting the sheep while sweating pure bullets. Taking flight, he grabs Bayar and the guide to escape the incoming woolly nightmare. Energy blasts rain down as the sheep display some seriously aggressive high-level jumping skills. Midair, Hansen complains that these stubborn animals are making their getaway way harder. Panic sets in as the sheep suddenly turn pitch black, their aura shifting instantly. A massive devil-horned sheep king appears, instantly identified as a dangerous super god-class creature. Hansen orders the guide to move ahead, promising to meet him at the landmark. With a burst of speed, he launches himself into the air to engage the beast. Wielding the Phoenix God Sword, he prepares to test its true power against the monster. He strikes with the glowing feather, catching the Sheep King off guard with a blow. This beast retaliates with a powerful energy attack, forcing Hansen to dodge the blast. Taking a hit, he coughs up blood while Bayar watches the intense fight from afar. Bayar stares on, her eyes wide as the golden aura flares around her protective father. Hansen reassures her, standing tall in his emperor form to face the charging sheep. The Sheep King lunges again, its dark energy swirling as it prepares to strike back. Golden light erupts as Hansen counters, cutting through the chaos with a lethal strike. A spinning golden disc of energy flies through the air, seeking its mark with precision. The Sheep King leaps into the fray, but Hansen is ready for the assault. With a swift motion, he slashes at the monster, ending the fight with one move. This beast tries to flee, but Hansen tracks its movement, refusing to let go. He delivers a final, crushing blow, putting his skills to the ultimate test today. System notifications confirm the hunt is successful, though the creature yields no life gene essence. Hansen notes the lack of blood, finding it strange for such a powerful beast. He inspects the new beast soul, a curved blade that feels surprisingly sharp and deadly. Suddenly, a new threat streaks across the sky, signaling that more trouble is coming fast. Hansen runs into the evil emotion emperor, wondering how this guy even got inside. Playing the clueless lackey, he claims he got separated from the others by sheep. This emperor gloats about losing his rival but snagging a sweet, ancient treasure map. Hansen studies the diagram, realizing it depicts the Phoenix Great Emperor's profound secrets. Feigning ignorance, he suggests the emperor ask the other guy if they ever meet. Grabbing Hansen, the emperor decides they should go check out something interesting together. They blast off toward the mountains, leaving the desert chaos far behind them now. Arriving at a hidden hot spring, the emperor hints that this place is special. Soaking in the water, he promises Hansen will understand the value very soon. Hansen notices his suppressed aura finally starting to recover in the magical water. This emperor explains the lake is formed from the fire phoenix's tears of nirvana. Hearing the name, Hansen is stunned by the legendary origin of this pool. This emperor recounts how the phoenix once cultivated a tree to open gene locks. Describing the tragic end of the phoenix pair, he reveals the lake's sad history. Golden light pulses from the water, showing just how much power remains trapped here. This emperor demands they soak for 7 hours to fully unlock their restricted power. Hansen ponders the cryptic prophecy about the emperor perishing in the yellow springs. Something strange catches his eye, a small shadow darting through the shimmering water. He He wonders why a fish in such legendary water has absolutely no life force. Scooping the weird little creature up, he realizes this might be the real prize. Hansen watches the weird little creature shift back into its bird form. Deciding this oddity is too much trouble, he tosses it aside to clear space. Suddenly, a massive swarm of bats blots out the sky like a dark omen. A powerful spirit warrior descends from the chaos, clearly looking for a serious fight. Hansen unleashes a blinding burst of energy, refusing to back down from the challenge. Golden light fills the air as he prepares to strike, his focus razor-sharp today. Feathers fly everywhere as he cuts through the swarm, but the loot is disappointing. Complaining about the lack of essence, he notes these pests are just total wastes. A sudden, intense red glow erupts nearby, catching him completely off guard once again. This evil emotion emperor tells him to hide in the lake, acting surprisingly chill today. 4 super god-class creatures appear, turning the entire area into a high-stakes death trap. Hansen cheers the emperor on, hoping to avoid getting roasted by the crows. Watching the emperor land a massive hit, he considers jumping in for the kill. Fortune favors the bold, so he decides to stop playing it safe and engage. This heat is absolutely insane, making it nearly impossible to even get close enough. With one clean strike, he finishes the beast, though the system offers 0 rewards. Sighing in frustration, he laments that his hard work resulted in absolutely no loot. Suddenly, the remaining crows spot him, turning their fiery rage toward his exposed position. He narrowly dodges a massive claw, his reflexes saving him from a brutal end. Moving on pure instinct, he realizes his body is fighting faster than his brain. Hansen channels those mural flight techniques, feeling like he's finally cracked the code. A massive fiery bird erupts, forcing him to dodge the scorching, soul-searing heat blast. Desperate to survive the inferno, he forces himself into his powerful Super Emperor state. Little Bayar watches as a tiny, unassuming bird appears, looking totally out of place. That bird starts inhaling the flames, proving it's definitely not your average garden-variety creature. A blinding flash of light tears through the cavern, signaling a massive, destructive impact. This evil emotion emperor stands tall, looking battle-worn but still radiating that terrifying, ancient energy. Hansen watches the chaos, thinking his new avian buddy is a total team player. Spotting a half-dead crow in the wreckage, he realizes the fight is not over yet. He lands a clean finish, bagging another super god-class soul. This trip is paying off. Suddenly, the evil emotion emperor unleashes a wave of power that shakes the very heavens. Hansen freezes, realizing his supposed ally is actually a massive, dangerous, ancient powerhouse. Seeing the emperor wounded, he thinks about taking the shot while the guy's vulnerable. Pretending to be helpful, he checks on the emperor's condition with a fake, worried expression. He offers healing, secretly hoping to guide the monster toward the legendary Tear Lake. Soaking in the water, he keeps a close eye on the emperor's slow, steady recovery. A sudden, glowing blade slashes through the air, announcing an unwelcome guest has arrived. This Holy Sword Emperor steps out, demanding the Phoenix diagram or death, no middle ground. Rising from the water, the evil emotion emperor glares, ready to settle an old, bitter score. Tension hits the floor as the 2 titans prepare to clash, leaving 0 room for error. This evil emotion emperor flexes, clearly annoyed that everyone forgot his terrifying, ancient reputation. Holy Sword Emperor demands his diagram back, trying to act all high and mighty. Hansen shields Bayar as the 2 titans unleash a massive, reality-shaking energy blast. That evil emotion emperor lands a brutal punch, proving he is not here to play. Stunned, the Holy Sword Emperor realizes he is actually in way over his head today. Begging for mercy, the sword wielder gets absolutely wrecked by that devastating, raw power. Bloodied and bruised, the evil emotion emperor refuses to let anyone threaten his absolute authority. Down goes the rival, his body crashing into the dirt like a total amateur. Hansen watches, impressed that the guy survived such a lethal, soul-crushing strike. Realizing the Holy Sword Emperor used a puppet to cheat death, Hansen feels cheated. Mocking the rival's cheap trick, the evil emotion emperor just laughs at the pathetic display. Stepping into the fray, Hansen draws his blade to protect his wounded ally. That Holy Sword Emperor loses his mind, baffled that a human dares to intervene here. Dismissing the sword array as total garbage, Hansen prepares for the real fight. Screaming in pure rage, the Holy Sword Emperor prepares to wipe them both off the map. Hansen triggers his 3-clawed golden crow soul, wings of fire lighting up the sky. Eyes locked on the target, he focuses his intent for a single, decisive strike. Dodging the rain of blades, he moves with the grace of a seasoned, battle-hardened pro. Golden energy weaves through the red chaos, turning the air into a deadly, swirling dance. Charging straight into the storm, he aims to end this royal spirit's reign forever. Holy Sword Emperor loses his mind, screaming that a human could not possibly break his array. Hansen ignores the tantrum, diving in with his golden avian form fully unleashed. That arrogant spirit is clearly not used to being challenged by someone so much weaker. Our boy strikes with overwhelming force, shattering the spirit's defenses like they were cheap glass. Confusion hits the Emperor as he realizes his precious sword array is completely falling apart. Hansen keeps the pressure high, his golden claws tearing through the air with precision. Twin blades clash in a flurry of sparks, neither side willing to give an inch. Stil rings out as they trade blows, the sheer intensity of the fight shaking everything. Screaming about his superiority, the spirit tries to regain control, but he is totally cooked. Hansen lands a devastating hit, leaving the Emperor stunned and completely open for more. Golden flames erupt as our boy delivers a brutal, point-blank strike to the spirit's chest. Agony fills the emperor's face, his pride shattered along with his armor and his spirit. Hansen stands tall, noting that his avian body makes his 9 gene locks unstoppable. Looking down at the broken, bleeding mess on the ground, he stays completely stone-faced. 2 hours later, he chills in the tear lake with the evil emotion emperor talking shop. That ancient spirit is genuinely curious about the human world, asking about teleportation portals. Hansen plays it cool, keeping the mystery of spirit travel alive while soaking up. Packing up to leave, he tells the emperor he hopes they will not be enemies later. This spirit decides to tag along, clearly bored and wanting to see these human things. With a smirk, Hansen agrees to meet at the exit, ready for his next move. This evil emotion emperor soaks in the lake, pondering the sheer audacity of these humans. Hansen finally reunites with the seventh brother, who is still hiding in the rocks. Relief washes over them as the two allies finally link up after the intense chaos. Seventh brother promises to stash vital intel, setting the stage for their next big move. Hansen questions if his guide is really staying behind in this dangerous, spirit-filled land. Handing over a mysterious package, the guide insists it might be useful for the future. Hansen inspects the strange token, realizing it bears the unmistakable mark of a phoenix. Peering at the relic, he wonders if this portrait depicts the legendary Phoenix Great Emperor. Both men share a bold vision, vowing that humanity will eventually conquer this entire shelter. Back at the entrance, the evil emotion emperor stands guard, waiting for his new human lackey.